Saguaro National Park might be the only national park in the country that's located right next to a major city. In fact, I think it might even be considered within the city limits of Tucson. I happen to live very close to Tucson, and the west side of the park is only about a half-hour drive away from me, so obviously I go there a lot. On this day, I'm not doing anything too crazy, but I'll show you the scenic drive and some of the other cool spots to visit if you're ever around here and have a few hours to spend in the park. My first stop was the Visitor Center, and out of the 24 national parks I've been to in my life, this Visitor Center is actually one of the nicest. Everything looks very modern and well maintained, and there's even a short little trail in the back with some cool interpretive signs. The short walk takes you through a wash, which is a dried up riverbed in the desert, and from here you can already see some of the iconic plants and landscapes of the Sonoran Desert. After that quick stop, I got back in the car and started up the scenic drive. This one is called the Baja Loop drive. If you haven't been to any of the national parks before, basically all of them have a designated scenic drive with some cool hiking trails along the way. After a bit, I pulled off at this place called the Sus Picnic Area. There's nothing too crazy in terms of hikes around here, but there's a cool little hill you can walk up with a nice view of the surroundings. I think it pretty much goes without saying, but you can see those giant saguaros and really all kinds of cactus everywhere around the park. When you get to the top of the hill, you can just see this crazy, expansive view of the vast desert landscape to the west, including the sharp cliffside of Picacho Peak from my last video, about 50 miles or so into the distance. This spiny plant right here with some blossoms on it is called an octillo, and this is what a small saguaro cactus looks like up close. I also spotted a cool little garden of chain fruit choyas, all growing right next to each other. I continued along the drive through dense forests of saguaros and stopped at the Valley View Overlook Trail, which is a very short hike but one of the more popular ones in the park. It's home to all kinds of unique plants that you'll see in the Sonoran Desert, as well as some cool mountain views too. Nowadays I'm kind of used to it since I live around here, but I just remember on my first time visiting the park, I was so shocked by just the sheer amount of saguaros that surrounded me. I thought the saguaro cactus was like a really rare thing that you'd maybe find in a few places in the park, but they're literally everywhere. Some of the other common ones though are the hedgehog cactus and the teddy bear cholla, which you might have seen in my other videos. Right here is another similar view to the one from before, where you're looking off towards the distance in the west and you can just see so far out. And the valley floor is just filled with saguaros absolutely everywhere. The mountains over here to the right are called the Tucson Mountains. It's a pretty small mountain range, as in it doesn't stretch out for lots of miles and the elevation isn't that high, but you can still see it from anywhere in the city. Like I said before, this is a pretty easy, well-maintained trail, I think just around 1 mile, and it's a great quick stop on any day trip to Saguaro. My next stop was Signal Hill, another pretty popular place in the park where you can see these really cool petroglyphs on the rocks. And to get there, it's just a very short walk up a hill from the parking lot. I wouldn't even really consider it a hike. Right here you can already see some of the rock carvings, which were made by the ancient Hohokam people who lived in the region from around 450 AD to 1450 AD, just about 1,000 years. These kinds of spiral designs are pretty common, but I'm not 100% sure what they mean. Could just be some kind of traditional symbol or something. These ones though just obviously look like deer or some kind of animal. After looking at the petroglyphs, I just walked to a cool spot nearby to sit down and enjoy the views. I remember my first time here, which was a few years ago when I just visited Saguaro National Park on a trip. That was my first time ever here, and I was at this spot at sunset, and I just remember thinking how amazing it was because I'd never seen anything like it before. And what do you know, a few years later I'm living here, so it just goes to show like how life changes and how crazy everything can be. Anyways, that's about it for this video. I didn't do too much because on this day I only had a few hours in the afternoon, but I just wanted to show those few cool spots that I know on the west side of the park. If you have some more time around there, the best thing to do in the park is hike up Wasson Peak, which I made a video about a few months ago, so go check that out if you're interested. And sometime in the near future, I'll probably make a video showing the east side of the park, because if I forgot to mention earlier, Saguaro National Park is really unique because the park is split into two sides that are actually surprisingly different. Anyways, thanks for watching as always, and be sure to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like these. I recently went on a really cool trip to the Utah National Parks, so I'll be posting that soon. And as always, thank you to my Patreon members who support my work both on this channel and on my main channel.